A Course in Miracles. Lesson 67. Love created me like itself. You were created by love like itself. Today's idea is a complete and accurate statement of what you are. This is why you are the light of the world. This is why God appointed you as the world's Savior. This is why the Son of God looks to you for his salvation. He is saved by what you are. Today is dedicated to reaching this truth and realizing, even if only for a moment, that it is true. In the longer practice period, the focus is on your reality and its wholly unchanged and unchangeable nature. Begin by repeating this truth about yourself. Then add thoughts that reflect it. Holiness created me holy. Kindness created me kind. Helpfulness created me helpful. Perfection created me perfect. Any attribute that is in harmony with God as he defines himself is appropriate. Today the attempt is to undo the definition of God the mind has made and replace it with his own. It is also an attempt to remember that you are part of his definition of himself. After considering several of these thoughts, allow them to fall away for a moment. Let the mind grow quiet. Reach past all images and ideas you have made about yourself. Move beyond every concept and preconception. If love created you like itself, then that self must still be within you. Somewhere in the mind it remains, waiting to be remembered. If distracting thoughts arise, repeat the central idea again. Let it gently return the mind to its purpose. If necessary, add other thoughts that reflect the truth of what you are. Yet there may come a moment when even these thoughts fall away. Beyond them lies a quiet interval. In that stillness there may be an awareness of a blazing light. In that light, the recognition dawns of what love created. Whether that recognition seems to occur or not, the practice brings the awareness nearer. Confidence is warranted because the movement toward truth is already happening. Frequent practice today is especially helpful. The mind is filled with many false images of itself. It has listened to them for a long time, so the truth must be heard often. 4 or 5 times each hour, or even more, pause and remember. Love created me like itself. Let the words be heard clearly within the mind. Let them remind you of what is true. In the shorter practice periods, recognize something important. This is not a tiny personal voice speaking. This is the voice for God. It reminds the mind of its source. It reminds the Son of his Father. It speaks the truth that replaces every story the ego has told about what you are. The message is simple and unchanged. You were created by love like itself. Love created me like itself. A statement so simple the mind almost passes over it. Yet if it were accepted for even a moment, whole lifetimes of stories would collapse. Because if love created you like itself, what becomes of the victim? What becomes of the story of being damaged, overlooked, abandoned, not enough, or too much? If the source is love, then the effect must be love. A spring cannot pour poison if the water beneath the ground is pure. An apple tree cannot grow oranges, no matter how loudly the orchard insists. Creation carries the nature of its creator. Pursuits, that is why the lesson says, today's idea is a complete and accurate statement of what you are. Not what you might become. Not what you must earn. What you are. This is why you are the light of the world. Light does not struggle to shine. It simply shines because that is its nature. A candle does not attend seminars on brightness. It burns. The sun does not apply for permission to rise. It rises. If love created you like itself, then your being is like the sun behind clouds. The clouds may pass across it. Storms may gather, but the light behind them has never dimmed. That is why the lesson says, the Son of God looks to you for salvation. Not because one person saves another, but because every mind that remembers love weakens the belief in darkness for everyone. One lantern in a dark valley reveals that the darkness never had substance of its own. This is why the lesson asks only for a moment, because a moment of truth is eternity breaking through time. A single second of real seeing can undo decades of misperception. Imagine someone lost in a cave for years, suddenly glimpsing daylight through a crack in the rock. Even if the opening closes again, the person now knows the sun exists. Hope becomes certainty. The longer practice period is simply sitting with this recognition, thinking about a reality that has never changed. Not the body, not the personality, but the essence beneath them. Holiness created me holy. Consider water flowing from a mountain spring. If the spring itself is pure, every stream that flows from it carries that purity. Holiness is not something added later. It is the original clarity of the water. Kindness created me kind. A flame lights another candle without losing anything of itself. The new flame burns with the same warmth as the first. Kindness multiplies exactly this way. Helpfulness created me helpful. Think of the ocean forming waves. Each wave carries the power of the entire sea behind it. When a wave lifts another boat, it is simply expressing what the ocean is. Perfection created me perfect. A mirror reflects the face before it without distortion when it is clear. Creation is that mirror. The reflection cannot alter the face that appears in it. Perfection is not pride. It is accuracy. From this idea flows countless attributes. Truth created me truthful. Peace created me peaceful. Joy created me joyful. Patience created me patient. Gentleness created me gentle. Wisdom created me wise. Clarity created me clear. Freedom created me free. Strength created me strong. Light created me luminous. Every quality that belongs to love belongs to what love creates. This is why the lesson says the mind must undo its definition of God, because the world imagines a very different author. A jealous God who punishes, a fearful God who demands sacrifice, a personal God who chooses favorites. That God resembles a king guarding a throne. But the God described here resembles a sun that shines on every field equally. Nothing needs to earn sunlight. Everything simply receives it. Then comes the most radical instruction. Let every thought drop away, even the beautiful ones, even the spiritual ones. Imagine standing beside a lake at dawn. The water is restless with ripples, but when the wind stops, the lake becomes perfectly still. In that stillness, the sky appears reflected in the water. Thought is the wind. Silence reveals the sky already present. And in that quiet, there may be the awareness of what the lesson calls a blazing light. Not a physical light, but the recognition of being alive with the same presence that created everything. A recognition that feels like remembering rather than learning, as if the mind briefly wakes from a dream. The lesson says confidence is warranted whether it seems to succeed or not, because every attempt weakens the old story. Every repetition of the truth loosens the grip of the lie, and the lie has been repeated constantly. I am my past. I am my failures. I am my job. I am my body. I am what others think of me. These are the false self-images that crowd the mind. They are like costumes piled in a theater dressing room. The actor forgets who he is because he keeps changing outfits. The lesson gently removes the costumes one by one, until the actor stands as himself again. That is why the reminder must be frequent.
4 or 5 times an hour if possible, because the mind has rehearsed the opposite story thousands of times a day. Each reminder is like turning a compass needle back toward north. And finally comes the most comforting line in the lesson. This is not your tiny, solitary voice telling you this. It is the voice for God, the quiet guidance already present in the mind, like a lighthouse standing steady while ships wander in fog. The lighthouse does not chase the ships. It simply shines. And the moment a captain looks up, the way home becomes visible. That is what this lesson is. A lighthouse sentence. Love created me like itself.